Hello, my name is Joy Wall. I'm a registered nurse and licensed massage therapist here on the Big Island of Hawaii. I've worked 40 years in the medical field, and now I have started my own business, which is called Innovations in Health Hawaii. And the basis of what I'm doing is working with this device called photon light machine. This particular one was developed by an electrical engineer, an electrical genius named Ed Skilling, and it's from the Ed Skilling Institute. He was, even as a child, a genius. He built his first radio at age 10 and did experiments on his parents' lawn, putting electricity through the lawn to watch how the grass would grow. And but when he went to college, he decided to study in electrical engineering and went into the aerospace industry. And it wasn't until 1950, when he was about retirement age, he decided to go into electromedicine after his daughter died. She had cancer, and then he devoted his life to electromedicine after that, developing these machines. There's the Genie and there's Genius. The Genius is a larger version, which is 6 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet deep, and provides a infrared sauna as well as electromedicine. The way this works is like a radio. So these are like the radio station, a transmitter, transmitting to the radio, which will be my lovely friend here, Alyssa, who's agreed to be a patient today. So we're going to put the transmitters on her body, and she has told me that she has a condition that she injured her leg 5 years ago, and it still gives her some trouble on this inner muscle here. So we're going to put the transmitter in the groin area. And that will emit a frequency towards her which will normalize the cells. This is set at the optimum frequency for the human body, 728 hertz, which may not mean anything to you. It doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but that's what they've decided resonates. You've heard the concept of tuning instruments like violins precisely, and if you pluck one violin and the next one to it, will resonate at the same time because of the resonance of the two strings. So that's how this works. This particular part of the machine has rare gases in these tubes, and they will transform their state with electricity to create ozone when touched to the skin, and ozonate and oxygenate the body. So I'm going to put these on the side of her leg. They have to touch the skin, whereas these little boxes, which are like radio transmitters, don't have to touch the skin. So I'm slipping it in and her body, and I'm going to turn this on. Okay. So it will be sending frequencies into her lower body here. And while we're working on her, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I graduated from nursing school in Boston in 1975 at Boston University, and I worked mainly in the community arena, working for the visiting nurses. Moved to North Carolina, got a master's in public health there, after working at Duke Medical Center for a couple of years. And I worked in the university setting. I did all kinds of things. And in 1987, I came to Hawaii on a vacation. And I decided that this was a wonderful place, and being a nurse in that age and time, we were very much in demand, so I had no hesitation to pack my bags and go. So I found a job at the Department of Health, and they asked me to set up a program for HIV counseling and testing. So I did that for a while on the 3 islands of Maui, and decided that I needed to develop my careers more. So I moved to Oahu, got a job where they trained me as a nurse practitioner. I was sent to Harbor UCLA Medical Center, got the training, and came back and worked with mainly immigrant and local women in the community health centers. In 2001, I came to the Big Island and studied with my dearly beloved teacher, Auntie Margaret Machado. And I started on a path that was really close to my heart, a very spiritual path where she uses prayer and loving hands. Those were the 2 things that she emphasized the most. And her work, she attributes all the healing to God, which I also do. So I retired a couple of years ago, and I've been working with this for a year and seeing that it's doing marvelous things for me and for others. And I've developed a psychic sight where I can see what's going on with people. So usually I say a prayer after I've interviewed the client, which will include Alyssa's ancestors. We ask the dear Lord to be present with us and for her ancestors to join us, relations, and the great beings who assist Alyssa in her life and who assist myself. So we give thanks for the gathering, and we begin, and we look and see that she's a healthy human being and doing very well in life. And I see no entities or great disturbances with her. So she would be a relatively easy person to work with. She has a physical injury that still gives her some trouble, but she pretty much can take care of herself. She's not going to need my advice on her nutrition or exercise or go into deep emotional issues or any of those things, because I can tell just by looking at her that she has come into her own and she's present here with us. So we'll just focus on her leg today. We'll mention a little bit about another machine, the Photon Genius, which I plan on bringing to the island pretty soon. That is used for regeneration. Dr. Robert Becker did some research in the 80s, and he wrote the book, The Body Electric, where he studied regeneration. And he found that certain life forms would regenerate, like salamanders will regenerate limbs. And when he put electrical currents through their limbs, they regenerated faster. So his research, he didn't get to the point where human beings were able to regenerate, but he held a hope that one day we could do that with electricity. So what they're finding in the use of these devices, and Dr. Ed Skilling, he actually brought the best out in these types of machines. And what his machines are doing is helping the cells to regenerate at the cellular level. So it does help with the wrinkles and the collagen formation and things like that, particularly when you use the big machine. And there's people who will come to it for just that reason. There are others that come to it because they want to recover more quickly from surgery or athletic injury or exercise. A long-distance runner, they have to regenerate themselves, and the photon light will help them to do that more quickly. So they're also used by certain individuals that have very serious health conditions. And what it does is powers up the body's immune system so that they are able to fight the disease much better. And in the next few months, I hope to be opening an office. So maybe by the time this hits the internet, the innovations in Hawaii will be open with the Photon Genius. Okay, how's that feeling now?
It feels good. It feels cooling.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very comfortable. I notice it's on minimum.
Do you want to try a higher
Let's
one?
try a higher, yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, okay. It's a little pulsing, kind of like a TENS unit.
Right. Uh-huh. We could use it to, if you could tolerate it.
Yeah, feels fine.
Uh-huh. What I'd like to do is move these to your low back and the transmitters to your belly.
Okay.
So what I will do is turn it off there because it's electricity, and if I don't turn it off, it will give me a mild shock. So these are not pulsating anymore, and I'll take them to the next set of points. Okay, that's on the sacrum. Okay, you can lean back, and that will support that area.
Okay.
Alrighty, and these, because you have these nice shorts, I'm just going to sit them right in there, and they will stay in place. Alrighty, turn it back on, and there we go. And for another 15 minutes or so. Okay, so we have given Alyssa enough time on these points, and it'll be time to move on to another set. Points which we will just show you where they could possibly go. The lymphatic points and any areas of pain, organs, that type of thing are used to apply the treatment. So in just looking over her body, it would give her a good tune-up to place these along her back and with the complementary transmitters in the front. So I'll just turn these back on. And this machine is designed to be used on a daily basis or every other day or as needed basis. So a lot of people purchase one for home use, which is what I did, and they recommend that for anybody that has any kind of serious health concern. It's good for mood elevation. Many people say, boy, I just feel better. If you're resonating at optimum frequency after you've been treated, well, then you will feel better. It's just like light has come into your cells. Photon is light, is a form of light, electrical light that goes into the cells. So, with Alyssa being healthy as she is, it would be up to her if she wanted to get one. So, there wouldn't be any recommendation for someone that doesn't have major health concerns to get these. But many people get them for a sick family member, and then the other people in the family use it and they go, oh great, that's really nice. So it's a great technology, and just wanted to get it out to the world. One thing I wanted to emphasize about the Genie. The Genie is wonderful in that you can use it 24 hours a day. These little radio transmitter boxes can be put at your bedside, under a mattress, or wherever is close to you, and you can sleep with them. You can have them with you in the car. There's a special adapter to plug it into your cigarette lighter and get a 12-volt system going with it. And it's recommended that you do that if you're trying to get over something serious, that you keep this going all the time. The frequency will go out about 40 feet. So your whole home will actually have the good vibration. These wands, on the other hand, you don't use them that long, maybe an hour, hour and a half or so, 2 hours at the most. But they put the oxygen in the body, ozonate, and do their magic. The magic wands. The genie can be taken on the airplane. It has its own travel case. And whereas the big photon light machine, it gives you the big dose of photon light, but you can't use it 24 hours a day. And it's not portable. 6 feet tall, you can't take it with you. I don't want to make claims because this is not FDA approved. No claims for health cures are put out there. It's for experimental purposes only, for the individual to decide for themselves what is best for them and their health.
Have you ever felt like you were coming down with a cold and you started using it and it helped
Yes,
out?
yes. I have a friend who worked at the hospital. They sent her home and they said, don't come back until you get over that cough. So she kept coughing and was kind of dragging along, and I finally called her up and I says, please come over and let me do this for you. So I placed the wands over her lungs, front and back, did the kidneys to help the kidneys release toxins, the lymphatics, gave her a good long treatment. And her lungs cleared up and she went to work the next day.
Wow.
So that was great.
Great testimony, yeah.
And I've had other people come to me that are ill and they can't go to work, and they get better and they can go back to work. And so they don't lose the pay, and it's really a bonus for them because they get well faster.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My email is joyannwall@hotmail.com. That's my name. And my phone number is area code 808-345-4802.